I wanted to ask you about wrestling politics here for a minute, because our friend Kevin Nash has said on his podcast, Click This, even though the real life Sting wanted Kevin Nash in attendance for his last match, he had to decline. And he basically said, Hall of X, one of my very best friends, I can't have them put some sort of graphic up or put me up on the screen that says Kevin Nash is all elite. I just can't do it. I'm paraphrasing, but that's roughly what he said. The idea being he supports Sting. He's going to watch the last match. They're going to talk about it on the show, but he just can't attend. He's a WWE guy. And out of loyalty to Paul, he's not going to be there. What do you think of that?
I think there's more to it than what we just heard or read. I can understand the way. I mean, I said to you, if I hadn't just gotten off a week's travel, I'd want to go and be a part of it. Now, I would go in disguise for no other reason than I wouldn't want to be a distraction. And I bet you that's part of it for Kevin. I know Kevin pretty well. And Kevin is a good friend. He can be a real stubborn, grumpy, moody, tough individual to do business with sometimes. But he's a good friend. He's a loyal friend. I don't know that it's so much, and I don't know. I'm not Kevin. I didn't hear his comments. I'm just reacting to what I've read and heard you just say. I think there's more to it, and I think the fact that Kevin doesn't really want to go there and be a distraction on Sting's night, he may not have said it, but I would imagine that's part of it as well. And I understand that part, especially when you're Kevin Nash. It's not like he's going to be able to sneak in.
Right.
Going to put on a wig. Try to hide? I don't think so.
Well,
I could get away with it.
He did wear a Sting mask once. So
yeah,
maybe he could just wear a Sting mask.
I would imagine that's part of it. Sometimes Kevin, depending on the mood he's in, he'll say something and it's like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But I would imagine a big part of it is he just doesn't want to be a distraction either.
I recently sat down with our friend Lex Luger. We do a monthly piece of business over on adfreeshows.com that we call Lex Expressed. And we sit down and ask questions to Lex Luger once a month. You can actually appear on camera and be a part of the live studio audience and ask Lex your question. But we also solicit questions through the rest of the month. And then just organically in the conversation, I asked him about Sting's last match. And also the idea that his name is being bandied about a lot this year for the WWE Hall of Fame, which is you and I are recording. They've yet to announce a single entrant, but a lot of people think maybe this is his year. And they take a look at the amount of documentaries that have been done on him. He's been on the bump and a handful of other things, and he still technically is on the payroll there. So maybe this would be Lex's year, but would that affect him perhaps attending Sting's last match? And here's what Lex had to say. Would this be a crazy year if Sting has his last match in March and you wind up going in the Hall of Fame in April? Would that be like, that feels like a storybook ending right there.
Wow. That would be a nice storyline.
Right.
For sure. I mean, I get a little buzz every year lately as time has passed. And a lot of people, we've talked about this a little bit before. People, what? Lex isn't in? I thought he was already in.
Right.
Wait, he's not in? I get that all the time. You're not in? I go, no, not yet. Hopefully someday, because it'd be such an honor. So I always tell people it's such an honor. There's definitely more buzz around it, maybe this year. And I don't know if them including more on the bump and some of the stuff more so last couple of years. I'm not sure there's a direct correlation there or not.
Right.
Or if they even give it that much thought before this, prior to a selection. Obviously, I'm flattered and honored that so many people have brought up Eric Bischoff. Who, man, that guy is, man, we have we don't talk a lot or anything, but like a special relationship now. The kind words he had for me, I love Eric Bischoff. I never thought they would come out of my mouth. based on some history. And he gave me a huge compliment on that. He thinks they should put. So yeah, I'm definitely complimented, flattered, honored when people say it, and obviously what a huge honor if and when it happens for sure. If it's this year, man, that would be, like you said, like storybook fairy tale. Yeah. If not, down the line sometime, I'm just always hopeful for sure.
And how about that from Lex?
What a guy.
Good human being, man.
So much. I mean, it literally, I got tears in my eyes right now.
Yeah.
Only because so much joy. I mean, you could just feel the joy in this man.
Yes.
He's at a place in his life that very few of us get to. And I aspire to it. He's inspirational to me in a lot of ways. But you can just feel it, man. It's just joy. It's the only word I can come up with when I see Lex or I hear him speak, especially, is joy.
Join us over on adfreeshows.com. You'll catch an all new Lex Express and tons of other exclusive series that only exist at adfreeshows.com, like Tuesdays with the Taskmaster, The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbag with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, plus a brand new series we're calling Beyond Nitro with the Nitro book author Guy Evans. And how about the latest new show, Enter Sandman, with the hardcore legend himself, the Sandman. It's all exclusive to adfreeshows.com. So if you haven't checked it out, what are you waiting for? Let's do some live questions. We got a live studio audience to a whole bunch of folks who are hanging out today. Shout out to Carl Hayes and Josh Henney and Mick Mack and everybody who showed up and is hanging out with us today. I see you hanging in there, Cam, and man, a bunch of the old names I hadn't seen in a bit are in there today. What's up, Coach Rosie? Let's do a few questions. Mike Whitaker wants to know, are we seeing WWE doing more PLEs overseas than they have in the past? With the big time difference, you see WWE doing one of the big 4 PLEs elsewhere. That's a great question. I mean, this was debated last year when John Cena came out in London and said, I want to see a WrestleMania in London. And of course, everybody went bananas. I don't know if we're going to see a WrestleMania in London, but I could see a Royal Rumble or a SummerSlam happening internationally. What say you, Eric?
Yeah, especially a SummerSlam. You know, I don't know what the buy rates are or how they track viewership and where the PLEs rank anymore. It's been a long time since I tracked any of that. But I'm just guessing SummerSlam is probably one of the softer of the PLEs, and that would be a great one, right? You're going to do it then. I expect I had to take my hands off the table. I'm sorry. I would expect we're going to see more because there's money in it. There's money in those overseas PLEs, and anywhere there's money, you can be sure the business will follow. I can't imagine that we're not going to see more of